Listen to me. I'm going to be talking about what I think are some of the hot topics in the wrestling world right now. Starting with, first and foremost, none other than CM Punk himself. Now, it's getting close to Survivor Series, and I know that everybody's wondering what's going on with CM Punk. Is he going to be making some kind of return here or not? Now, I've just been watching JD from NY's channel. Really good channel there. And he was saying that there is some sort of meeting happening, I think this week, with CM Punk and WWE involving Vince McMahon, Nick Khan, a bunch of board members. And listen guys, I don't know if this is definitely happening or not. I mean, this is just what he said on his channel, which is what he heard from somebody else. So don't start fact checking me or getting all butthurt if I'm wrong. Who cares? It's not that serious. I'm just talking about wrestling, okay? Don't start accusing me of spreading fake news or anything, okay? We're just having a good time talking about wrestling here, alright? So let's suppose that this meeting is happening, okay? Well, it doesn't mean that it's going to go anywhere, does it? It doesn't mean necessarily that CM Punk's going to cut a deal. I mean, for all we know, he might want too much, you know, he might want too much money, he might want too much creative control. They might not be able to see eye to eye. They might not be able to get past whatever issues they had in the past, which, let's face it, was pretty bad issues, okay? So, just because they're having the meeting doesn't mean anything, alright? Now, on top of that, okay, people are talking about a return at Survivor Series. So, say if he returns at Survivor Series. It's in Chicago, it's great, he comes in, he needs to lay somebody out with a GTS, okay? Who might that be? Okay? Is there anybody for him to work with? Would anybody even want to work with him? Alright, we don't know the answers to these questions, okay? Say if he goes to SmackDown, okay? Does he go into the title picture? Does he go straight up to Roman Reigns and say, give me that title? Is it just as simple as that? Or does he go and face up with Logan Paul? Personally, I'd like to see that. I think that could be pretty cool. CM Punk, Logan Paul, that could be awesome. That could be really, really good. Or does he not even go to SmackDown? Does he go to Raw, where Rollins is the champion? Now, I know Rollins did a couple of shoot interviews. Well, they were kind of semi-shoot. Were they supposed to be a shoot? Were they supposed to be a work? I'm not really sure. But in some interviews, Rollins had some choice words about Punk. So, you know, there's kind of like maybe a pre-made little storyline there that they could get straight into there with Rollins if CM Punk went there. But one thing I will say about CM Punk, and one thing I know about people in general, because I know this about me, myself, okay? Some people just don't work well with others, okay? Some people are not supposed to be employees. WWE, whether they call them independent contractors or not, okay, the guys that work there are WWE employees, okay? Some people just aren't meant to be employees. Some people are leaders, not followers. Some people just don't want to be told what to do. I am one of those people. I don't want to work for somebody else, okay? So CM Punk is clearly one of those people, and it might just not work out wherever the place is, okay? Unless he can call the shots and be the boss. Maybe that'll be Impact or TNA. Whatever they're going to call it now. Maybe you can go there and call his shots and be in charge, right? But, you know, for some people, right, just not being told what to do is worth something, okay? Not being told what the score is by somebody else, not having somebody above you who is your boss, that's worth something on its own. So, WWE being the hierarchical place that it is, I mean, it might just never suit somebody like CM Punk. But we never know. In the world of wrestling, you never say never, so we can never say never until the day we die, okay? We could see it happen, okay? But until we see him running down that ramp, ready to run in on somebody and make a surprise attack, or until we hear his music play, we're all just speculating, right? Listen to me guys, the next person we're going to talk about today is none other than our tribal chief, Roman Reigns. It seems that the internet wrestling community is getting a little butthurt about Roman Reigns now. They're getting a little sick of seeing the tribal chief at the top, okay? Now I can appreciate this, alright, because I loved the Bloodline story. I loved it. I loved how it made Jay. I loved how it made the Usos, their own characters. I love the whole thing with Sami. I love the whole thing with Solo. I love Paul Heyman. I love the whole thing together, okay? And, you know, probably over a year ago, people saying that Roman should have dropped the title by then, or even longer than that, okay? But I was still on board, okay? But now, maybe I'm not even on board anymore, okay? And why? Well, I'd say the Bloodline story has run its course, personally. I would say that, okay? They have gone in and out of every way, which way they can go with this, okay? They've done the whole thing with the Usos, falling into line for Roman, building up the faction, getting it done. They've done the domination thing, then they've done the implosion thing when the Bloodline Civil War. Now, there really is, if you look at it, there's no real reason if the Bloodline isn't as strong as what they once were, okay? If they're not the strong 5-man faction that they were when Sami was in, when Jay was in, okay? And if Jimmy's getting dropped on his head every other 2 minutes, right? They're not a strong faction anymore. Now, if the whole reason Roman has been champion for so long is because he's had this backup and they've been running in and helping him to keep the title, okay? Well, that's not the case anymore. So there's no reason really that Judgment Day shouldn't run in, smash everybody there and pin Roman with the Money in the Bank briefcase, and, you know, Damian Priest should be champion. Really, okay? Now, they knew that, WWE knew that at the last event at Crown Jewel, and that's why they had Sami take that briefcase off Priest. Because otherwise, there would be no way that you could make it believable that the Judgment Day wouldn't come in, clean house, and take that title from Roman. That's the only way they could keep it on him. And people are starting to see it now that, you know, they've just had enough of Roman. Now, where are they going with this? It looks like they're trying to go all the way to WrestleMania with Cody, have Cody finish the story. Alright, now, people are probably going to be begging for Roman to lose that title at that point. So, you know, people are going to love that if that's what they get to see. But, I mean, it's a bit predictable, isn't it? You know, could we not have a few swerves along the way? And I get it. I get if he keeps the title for longer, it means more when he loses it. I get that. But, you know, we need a surprise at this point. You know, we could do with Priest cashing in that championship and somehow, you know, the championship getting hot potatoed around for a couple of months before we get to WrestleMania. But I do get that they want to keep it on Roman for that whole time, most likely, so that when Cody takes it off him, it truly makes Cody, and you know, it's more special when he does take it. But I've got to say, you know, even I now am getting a little tired of Roman having that title. So, you know, some people must be losing their damn minds about it, because some people didn't even like the Bloodline thing. Now listen to me, guys, my next topic's going to be Logan Paul, right? I thought Logan Paul put in a brilliant performance at Crown Jewel. You know, I've got to give the guy all the respect in the world for what he's done so far in WWE. It's kind of unbelievable that he can perform at the level that he does. You know, there's arguments to be made that he's in there with great guys who are carrying him through the matches, but come on. Those guys can't carry me through a match like that. You know, they can only carry somebody who's got a degree of talent. So, you know, I think that argument falls on its face, really. So, as if it's not enough that we're only going to see Roman Reigns on a part-time basis with the Undisputed Championship, now Logan Paul, another part-timer, has got the US title. So, this poses a few problems, okay? Now, I don't know what we're going to see from Logan Paul going forward. Has WWE negotiated a contract with Logan Paul for him to do more appearances, perhaps? I don't know. That would be cool. Maybe they're going to try and thrust that US title into the spotlight a little bit more now. Maybe that's going to be the main prize on SmackDown for a while. And, you know, I have to say, I feel like that title is elevated a little bit by Logan Paul having it. Because I don't think they've given him that title just to take it straight off him, you know. I think Logan Paul's showing real promise of becoming a top heel in the company if he wants to be. You know, he's certainly got the talent in terms of his charisma and his in-ring skills to be that guy. So, you know, what are we going to see around this US title picture now? Are we going to see LA Knight move into that US title picture? You know, I mean, I think LA Knight and Logan Paul is, you know, that's just money waiting to be made, right? And if CM Punk comes back into the picture, then we could have a situation where Punk and Logan Paul could be facing off with each other. Now, some of you might not like the possibility of that, but I think that sounds really cool. You know, I think in terms of realism, I think because Logan Paul is quite a controversial online figure anyway, he brings a sense of realism with him. And Punk, I mean, is just about as real as you can get. I mean, he can't go anywhere without rubbing somebody the wrong way, right? So that could break down into a real situation between the two of them pretty easily. You know, there's combustible elements everywhere there. So, I mean, that's the kind of thing that just gets my juices flowing. So, if you're out there watching this video, if you like my videos, please give me a subscribe and like the video. That's if, in fact, you did like this video. But if you didn't like the video, then you better learn to love it, because it's the best thing going today.